When I began my law practice in Moundsville, West Virginia in 1977, and when I opened that storefront law, the topic that Norman Clark and I are going to be covering in the upcoming webinar on the 5-year handoff, lawyer succession from one generation to the next, was nowhere on my radar screen. I just wanted to survive. I didn't know anybody in town. The town really didn't want me there. I didn't have any money. I didn't know anything about the practice of law. And the thought that someday I would survive long enough to succeed and then succeed long enough to have a succession plan, that was beyond my comprehension. I just wanted to get to the next day, the next month, the next year, and make sure that I had a solid practice. And as I was thinking about webinar and how I could break through some of the procrastination and resistance and inertia that many of us lawyers feel when we think about, well, what's going to happen 5, 10, 20 years ahead when I'm no longer a lawyer, I thought somehow it has to be relevant to some other situation in your life. And for me, it was family caregiving. I got married in 1999. My then wife said, hey, it's a package deal. You get me, you get my parents. My mom's old. My dad had a stroke. Someday they're going to come live with us. And I thought, that's fine. I appreciated the sentiment in her. I had a strong sense of family. And I figured whatever we needed to do, we would be able to do it. And sure enough, a few years into the marriage, the waiter brought the check, and my in-laws came to live with us. Before we moved them into our home, we had done a lot of planning, just in terms of logistics, our schedules, having a house that already had a mother-in-law suite, preparing our daughter for all this. But when they moved in, we realized we did not have a plan for moving them out. And a few years out, it just became untenable. And I would like to say it had a lovely happy ending and our great intentions were rewarded. But really, after a few years, we realized this was having a hell of a toll on our relationship, on our daughter, on the relationship between my wife and her parents. And we recognized they had to go. But something, we had no plan. We had no exit strategy. And because of that, it was a lot messier than it needed to be. It was hard on everyone because we were winging it at a time when we were already in a state of crisis. The fact is, there's something in your life where you realized, oh my gosh, I just never thought this day would come and I wish I had. That's what the webinar is about. Someday you are no longer going to be in the practice of law. And you want to be able to go out on your terms rather than the terms that crisis or happenstance or other people who may not have your best interest in heart dictate. So come to the webinar. I can't guarantee that you'll leave with a 5-year succession plan, but I guarantee 2 things. One, you'll have a better idea of the factors that should be in your mind right now. And number 2, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better that you finally face this rather than continue to procrastinate it and worry about what might actually be behind that curtain. Look forward to seeing you then.